We all take film for granted. Seeing a movie is as easy as heading out to the cinema, buying a ticket, bucket of popcorn, and a tasty beverage. But have you ever seen what it was like to make a movie 130 years ago? Sure, there was no Netflix, no cable TV, and social media wasn't even a twinkle in its granddaddy's eye. So how was it done back then? But before we take a look at some of the oldest and most interesting videos, number 1, Passage de Venus, 1874. The oldest photographic recording that we have footage of is actually a movie that features the rare passage of Venus over the face of the sun. Number 2, the Roundhay Garden Scene, 1888. The Roundhay Garden Scene is widely regarded as the first true video and is the oldest surviving film in existence as verified by the Guinness Book of World Records. It's a short silent motion picture film which only lasts around 2.11 seconds. Number 3, Lumiere Workers Leaving Factory, 1895. The Lumiere Brothers' significance cannot be understated. This video shows workers leaving a factory in what is surprisingly smooth video, and quite obviously a huge leap forward from the previous work by Le Prince. This short film premiered to an audience of 10 and was shot in 35mm film, the world's first. Number 4, Olympics, 1896. In 1894, a young French aristocrat, Baron Pierre de Coubertin, called a gathering of sports leaders to establish the International Olympic Committee and to revive the ancient concept of the Olympic Games. 2 years later, 311 athletes gathered in a brand new marble stadium in the center of Athens to celebrate the first Olympic Games of the modern era, a return to a proud tradition. Although the title says this to be the Olympics in Athens 1896, the video is most likely from 1906, as it features events which were not part of the 1896 Games. Number 5, Arrival of a Two-Stage Train in France, 1897. One of the short films of Auguste Baron showing the arrival of a train which has 2 decks. The upper deck has no safety rails and seems like people are walking on the edge of the floor to get to the stairs leading off the train. They may all seem too dressed up for today's standards, but were just following the dress code of their time. Number 6, Early Roller Coaster Britain, 1898. Robert Paul is a largely forgotten name today, but he was a major pioneer of British cinema. Together with his partner Burt Akers, the pair developed their own projector at the same time as the Lumiere Brothers. This video of the Switchback Railway was shot on their prototype camera, an amazingly different design that did share a few fundamental similarities with the Lumiere Brothers design, but was also very different. Number 7, A Trip Through Paris, France, 1890s. Another early film by the Lumiere Brothers showing how the citizens of Paris traveled well over 100 years ago. At this stage, the subway underneath Tuileries Garden would not open for another decade. What the Parisians had was so much more interesting and something that you would see today in a modern airport. They had moving sidewalks. People can be seen standing patiently on the platform as it moves them down the road. This innovation was so revolutionary that it commanded the attention of Thomas Edison, who traveled to Paris to see this modern marvel in the flesh. Number 8, Lumiere Brothers Film Night, 1895 to 1900. In 1896, the Lumiere Brothers opened cinematography theaters in London, Brussels, and New York City. They showcased their collection of more than 40 films that they had shot celebrating the beauty of everyday French life. Memorable moments included a party where a group of men are using a blanket to launch a laughing partygoer into the air, as well as 2 ladies giving money to poor children. Cinema attendees were captivated by seeing life's moments unfold on the big screen. Everyday life may seem boring and mundane, but seeing it on the big screen from a true observer's perspective was a totally new and foreign concept. Number 9, Living Wigan, 1902. Another one from the Mitchell and Kenyon collection, this vibrant film was shown as part of the Lancashire town's celebration of Edward VII's coronation. People wave, cheer, and laugh at the camera as a tram worker unsuccessfully tries to move them out of the way by spraying them with water. It is a short, silent documentary film capturing street life of the time. Number 10. A Trip Down Market Street, 1906. This short film was made by the Miles brothers and shows what daily life was like in an early 20th century San Francisco. It's a look back at the transportation, fashions, and architecture of that time in history. The film passes landmarks that include San Francisco's tallest building, the Call Building, and also the Palace Hotel. It is culturally significant as it preserves exactly what San Francisco looked like 4 days before the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. This was a time where cable cars, horse-drawn carts, and automobiles all shared the same road. Number 11. London Olympic Games in 1908. This was London's first ever Olympics. The footage shows several events that were part of those games. As we can see, the safety of the participants was far below today's standards, as we see no mattresses in the video, only sand to absorb the athletes' fall. The footage also features women's tennis and archery, which clearly shows how uncomfortable women felt competing in those long dresses. Number 12. A Trip Through New York City, 1911. This footage was shot by a Swedish newsreel company and was originally a mini documentary used as an introduction to the immigrant experience to be advertised overseas in the hope of bringing workers to America, the land of opportunity. At the time, Manhattan had a population of about 2 million, many more people than the 1.6 million people who live there now. We hope you've enjoyed the video. Please give us a like and let us know in the comments how much you like taking a trip down memory lane and learning about the early history of cinema.